Good morning everyone. How are you? I hope you all are doing well. Kindly keep yourself safe. Whatever instruction is being given by the government and the doctors, please go through it. Keep yourself well. Only then we can do something. Today I am going to discuss about food and beverage control system. As we discussed in last classes about the cost, food and beverage management, cost control system, I'll just give you recap to go ahead. What we understand about cost. Cost is something expenditure incurred for production of one unit of any product or services. So we have different types of cost as we discussed in last classes. If we talk about control system, we have certain steps to go ahead for having control system for establishing in any hotel or any food and beverage operation department or organization. The first step for establishing control system is establishing standards. As we know that we have certain standard for each and every services we are going to provide in food and beverage operations. Then we have to establish process. As you know, the process means how we are going to purchase a particular product, how we are going to produce it, how we are going to serve it, how we are going to sell it. All are the processes which we require to have F&B control system. After establishing process, we can go for setting examples. Until unless we don't set examples, how people can learn how system works. So in any system, we require to set an example by which people can learn and they can exercise about those learnings. Then the next step of F&B control system is observing and correcting employees' action. As we know, the control is something not about controlling object or a particular thing. A piece of paper cannot be shifted until unless somebody is going to shift it. So control never requires to put on objects or on materials. We require to put control on people who are handling those objects or materials. So observing and correcting employees' action is basically to reach on this objective, that how we are going to control people working with the system. So observing people, correcting their action is one of the most important part of our food and beverage control system. The next step which we can discuss is about requiring records and reports. So any system can only work on basis of records. If you don't have records, a system cannot work. How a system owner who is controlling the system, how they can know that what is going on? A person cannot be available at all time at every place or every point of operation. The person who is controlling operation must have certain idea about what is going on. What is the first step from where the operation starts, how it goes up, how it ends up. So every step should require certain type of reports which can be available for a person who is controlling the system. For example, if you are selling something, so we need a bill to be raised. If a bill is not being raised, how can a person who is having control can come to know that something has been sold out? Likewise, something has been purchased, there should be a report of purchasing. And on the basis of that particular report, a person can know that what has been purchased. Now, as we know that when we are going to produce something in kitchen, we require to have indent of particular set of products which we need for the operation. So the person observing the control system can understand that these items has been indented for today in the kitchen A, and kitchen A is producing this much of items. It is selling it, and the rest of items are being kept with them as per the balance of that particular day's operation. So all these things, this is one of the example. We require each and every records for each and every process by which we can have control system to be checked and operated. Now, the next step is preparing and following budgets. We know the control is a particular process which can also be operated by budgeting. For example, if we budget something, what budget means? A budget means we are establishing, we are setting a standard that these are the expenditures and these may be the income. So this income and expenditure has been set in advance and it is under record. Now, to say if a purchase for a particular month is X amount, and if you are going to purchase X plus 1, it means we are not following the budget we have made. Something is wrong over there. How it can be checked? That is why we need to have budget for controlling. So budget can also be one of the way to control particular operation. The next process is known as censoring and disciplining employees. Censoring means putting a break on a particular person. This censoring, for example, somebody has done certain mistake. It means if you are going to censor that particular person, he may not be thinking to practice that particular bad thing again in coming future. So censoring is one of the system by which we can stop people for doing wrong things. For any single mistake, we cannot put out a particular person from the operation. We need to have operation in a standard manner where if a person is doing certain mistake, we should find it out, we should put a censoring on him so that he can be very sure that he is not going to do the mistake again. So these are a particular steps by which we can put a control system of our operation. The next point which I am going to discuss today is how to control the service, how control of service works. Service means whatever has been produced in kitchen or what we are going to sell, the beverages. This is the point where food and beverage is going to be sold. So if we are going to sell a particular food and beverage items in particular outlet, maybe in restaurant, bar, coffee shop, banquet, nightclub, discotheque, anywhere, whatever the outlets are available in our hotel, at every point is known as point of sale. We are going to sell certain items being produced by the kitchen or being produced in the particular outlet. Now, how can we put control system? As we know that we need to have KOT and BOT system. What KOT system means? KOT system means that if we need certain item from the kitchen, we have to raise KOT, that is known as kitchen order ticket. If we are not raising KOT, we cannot get anything from the kitchen to be served in the restaurant. Likewise, for serving of beverages, we need to raise BOT, that is bar order token. Means, if you are walking the bar, you cannot use a particular drink without raising a BOT, because at end of the operation, all these KOT and BOTs will be collected by the control F&B controller, who will check that what items has been sold today from different outlets. Now, if we are using KOT, the KOT is normally used in 3 copies. One will be sent to the kitchen for taking that particular order from the kitchen. Another copy goes to the cashier who is going to raise the bill against that particular KOT, and the third copy remains with the KOT book. So, the F&B controller will collect KOT from kitchen and again KOT from a cashier. Both set of KOTs will be matched, that if any KOT is missing with any particular outlet, that is, for example, from cashier or from kitchen, it means something has been picked up from the kitchen not being recorded, or something has been sold by raising bills but not being recorded as a form of KOT. In both cases, we can doubt that who has done this mistake and how we are going to trace them out. So the third copy will be called from that particular outlet and will be matched, and people who is guilty in this operation can be caught and being censored to not practice it again. That is known as KOT system, where we are going to sell particular item in food and beverage outlet, and for beverages we have BOT system. Again, for example, if you are running a bar, we are going to indent certain set of drinks at certain set of beverage item from the store, that will be recorded that this much number of bottles of different liquors or wines we have got with us. Now the controller at any point of operation can check that what is the balance we have with us. Now the controller will match that what has been indented, controller will match that what has been sold. If indent, sold and balance is matching, it means nothing has happened wrong. But if balance is less, it means something has been sold which not being raised a bill. It means organization is getting loss, organization is getting revenue to be leaked. By this way we can stop the leakage of revenue from our outlets. So this is one of the example of controlling beverage sales. So with the system of KOT and BOT, we are going to control food and beverage sales in our F&B outlet. That is known as sales control, where we have system of KOT and BOT and bills by which we are going to control the sales process in any F&B outlet. As we have discussed in previous classes that how we are going to put the system of purchasing, we have discussed what is purchasing, how purchasing system can be established, how we are going to establish standard purchasing processes, and with the help of standard purchasing processes we can control the purchasing system. Then we have method of purchasing, we have discussed regarding different types of purchasing system by which we can purchase. And the next step in control after purchasing system is controlling storing, issuing and transfer. So once the commodity has been purchased, it will be received through the receiving clerk by putting certain recording processes. Then those particular product which has been received at the receiving clerk end will go in two way. One, some commodities will go straight to the kitchen, which is known as standard ordering system. Then rest items will go to the store, from where it will be sold to different kitchen or different F&B outlets. Now, how can we put a control system of storing? We have a store where we are going to store each and every item which is required for food and beverage process. We can have a store which may have all those items which are going to be used in the whole hotel operation. But here I am confined to discuss about the storing of food and beverage item, though we are discussing the food and beverage control system. So in this context, we want to discuss that how food and beverage items can be stored. Once the food has been received in the store, it will match with standard purchasing specification which is being established by discussing of our top management in operations. So the person who is working in a store will match all those items received in a store by SPS which he has got with him. Then only he can accept those particular item, or he is empowered to get back those items which are not matching with SPS to the purveyors, to the suppliers, and supplier will be responsible and they'll reply that how it has happened. So the person in a store, if he accepts once that whatever items has got and he has stored, now he'll be responsible for all those items. If a kitchen personnel after indenting is going to take items from the store, and those items which are not matching with the standard of the hotel's operation, then the kitchen personnel can refuse to accept those particular items in the store, and the responsibility will go to the store person, store in charge, who is responsible for storing those items. So the store person should not take any responsibility regarding this, that he will be responsible to reply that why these items are not having matching with the standard we have decided. So this is one of the most important things which should be taken care by the person who is working the stores. Now the person in store will store all those items. There should be a particular design of the store, there should be a particular temperature, humidity, particular ventilation in the store, so that items should not spoil, because store has got a big inventory, and managing store is managing inventory about food and beverage items. This is known as inventory management also, how the inventory of food and beverage item can be managed. It's a very important task. It has got a good amount of investment. It has got good amount of capital which is being stored in a store. So the person who is working in store should be very well trained, and he should be able to manage the store in best possible manner. We have certain system which is known as first come first out, last come last out. Means if item A has been received in a store, it has been stored at different demand at different level and different point. Again, the next lot of that item has come again in the store. Now the person who is working in store should not issue that particular commodity which has come as a fresh lot. First he should issue those items of that particular product which has been received earlier. That should be issued first, and after ending that, the next lot should be issued as per the demand, as per the requirement. So this should be taken care, so that any product should not be stored which is older and older, and automatically it will be spoiled, and the cost will come to the operation. So any spoilage, any wastage is also reaching the cost. So we should make sure that nothing should be spoiled, nothing should be wastage, because it will add the cost and our cost will go high, which will be very dangerous for our operation. So after receiving the store and storing the commodities properly, the next process is issuing the items which are being stored in the in store. So issuing is a process by which any commodity can be transferred from a store to those outlets which are required those particular item. For example, kitchen A, kitchen B, kitchen C are working in the hotel. So every kitchen, as per their requirement, will put their indent in an indent book which will be signed by executive chef, and then it could be sent to a store to be issued. So this is known as issuing process, by which a particular commodity will be issued from store to different food operating outlet or different kitchens where the food are being prepared for the guests to be sold. Now the next process in storage is known as transfer, because during a particular operation some commodities are being transferred from one outlet to another outlet as per requirement, because those outlets are not having the use of those commodity in a larger amount. For example, if we need some wine for wine cookery in our kitchen, we are not going to indent wine directly from the store. You can get it transferred from the bar and we can use it. That will come under record of cost under the kitchen who has used those wine, and it will be known as transfer from bar to kitchen. We can take another example of transfer, which is when a person working in bar requires certain amount from the kitchen. He should not get it issued directly from store. He can get these items from kitchen, and he can use those particular items, which is known as transfer from kitchen to bar. So this is the process of storing, issuing and transfer. This is very important process which requires a lot of experience and knowledge, because again at this point of time we have a problem of having rising our cost by the way of wastage or by the way of misuse. So misuse and wastage should be stopped, because it will straightforward raise our cost.
Safe to